Today we're going to be looking at bad Magic the Gathering cards that we used to think were good. I'm going to start off with a personal one, Dismiss. For 4 mana, it was an instant that counters a spell and it draws a card. Now, it's, to my credit, this is actually pretty close to like Cryptic Command, how you would normally play it, except it doesn't have the other modes of Cryptic Command. So when you're behind, you are really behind when you play against this when you play with this card. Not to mention, I remember I was playing with a bunch of other counter spells in my deck, like Rewind, and how can you play with like so much clunk? So like the times that you pull this off, you feel like an absolute genius. Otherwise, you just get completely stomped out by aggro decks, or the interaction's not even good enough. I swear, I probably didn't even play enough actual counter spells in my deck. I thought this was better than Counterspell. I thought it was better than Counterspell, Mana Leak, all those cards. You drew a card off of it. It's hard to come back when you don't have cards in your hand. Okay, next up, let's take a look at... Toad says Soul Net for the life gain was huge. Ooh. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people on today's show who's going to be in the same boat as you, Toads, who completely overrate the life gain. I mean, how could you die if you're at, I don't know, go from 20 to 35 life? So this is for 1 mana. It's an artifact. Whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from play, you can pay 1 mana. If you do, you gain 1 life. It sounds like you can gain a ton of life over the course of a game, but also you need to have that mana up. Otherwise, it's useless. At least it's cheap to play. That's for sure. I'm sure it didn't scale very well. If your opponent has like 1 million creatures in play, you're going to die anyway. We got Steven here with the Demir Lich. What the hell? You mean I think you mean Dimilich. Dimilich? I think I know what you're talking about. Let's look up all the liches. Demilich! That's what it is. Can we get like a regular version? Okay, this is the closest we're going to get to a regular version. A lot of people played this card when it first came out. Blue, 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 blue for a 4/3 skeleton wizard. This spell costs blue less to cast for each instant and sorcery spell you've cast this turn. And whenever Demilich attacks, exile up to 1 target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard, copy it. You may cast the copy, and you may cast Demilich from your graveyard by exiling 4 instant and sorcery cards from your graveyard in addition to paying its other costs. I also think like Aspiring Spike did a ton of work with this card. It looks insane. I mean, still on paper, it looks really, really good. Yeah, you get a discount. It can come back from the graveyard. It's like card advantage. Like, what's wrong with this? I guess the problem is if graveyard hate is really brutal against this card, has no evasion. It's sort of still of a chunky creature, and maybe the casting cost is still a little bit too much to bite. But yeah, Demilich was a super popular card when it came out. Next up, we got Roberts with Hinata Dawncrowned. I see you, Toads. When's the next Guess the Show? Not for a while. Maybe not for a month. Okay, Hinata Dawncrowned is a 4 mana 4/4 Kirin Spirit Flying Trample. Spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each target, but only if you are targeting something. And then spells your opponent's cast cost 1 more for each target, but only again so long as you're targeting something. It's not bad. But I mean, in terms of taxing creatures, it's really low. It's really low on like the stacks cards, you know what I mean? And I think you do know what I mean. On Blast Offer, offering Torment of Hailfire. I thought this is a good card. I thought this is like a commander staple. Basically super disqualified. Very, very. I mean, unless you're talking about like 60 card formats. The black X sorcery. Repeat the following process X times. They lose 3 life. They sack a non-land permanent or discard a card. But outside of that, I don't think anyone ever tried to play this in 60 card formats, and it's super popular in Commander. Okay, Gareth in Mass Block thought Horned Troll. This might be a very nostalgic show for some people. Was the ultimate. We got the 3 mana 2/2 that can regenerate. Dude, it's like really funny. I mean, like, I don't know what kind of card pool you played with, Gareth, that you actually thought that this card was good. this is like even pretty crappy for the rate that they had back in 8th edition. Like it's a 2/2 for 3 mana that regenerates. There's got to be like better things that you can do to regenerate. Wasn't like River Boa almost strictly better? It's like a 2 mana 2/1 with Island Walk and you regenerate it. It's almost strictly better and existed in that era. Next up, we've got Citadel with the Archivist. No, I hear ya. I tried to play this card myself. Although I came to the conclusion that I didn't like it. And you know why I didn't like it? Because it didn't deal damage. That was my reasoning. See, my creature that played in this place was Thieving Magpie. This is Archivist, you tap to draw a card. Magpie, you deal damage and you draw a card. I'm like, that's my win condition here. I'm like, this can't win the game. You're just drawing cards. I mean, I guess at some point you can attack, but it doesn't even have evasion. Yeah, and no, to your credit, actually, I think this card, if I were to look back, I think Archivist is infinitely better than Thieving Magpie because this card had to attack. This card can just sit there and you can like pass the turn and draw cards at end of turn. I think I was wrong. But even then, like, yeah, this is pretty low on the totem pole of cards that are even remotely playable. Okay, David Sampson, Lifeline. I thought I didn't think my opponent got this also. It's decent-ish. The 5 mana artifact, whenever a creature is put into a graveyard and a creature is in play, return that creature from your graveyard to play at end of turn. Oh, this is symmetrical? Oh, oops. If Lifeline was in War of the Spark, it wouldn't have been symmetrical. It would have been all for you. It would have been all yours. Oh, Indiana Jones with the Stream of Life. Everyone plays that Stream of Lifeline at some point. It was all about life gain when I first started playing MTG. So who wins when it's like one life gain deck versus another life gain deck? Who's supposed to win that battle? At some point, somebody has to have a creature out. I mean, I think everybody's. I mean, at first, we think life gain is amazing. Then we gain our big pile of life, and then we realize that when our opponent keeps attacking us, we lose anyway. So, okay. Guess life gain isn't that good after all. It's like one of the greatest red herrings in Magic the Gathering. Benjamin Berkey with Crozen Cloud Scraper. We scrape in the clouds. Oh, we will scrape the clouds. Wow, scrapes clouds doesn't have reach. What the hell? I guess he can't reach above the clouds. This is 10 mana for a 13/13. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice it unless you pay green, and you can also morph it for 9. That's a big chunky creature. I'm sure you're thinking, okay, we're gonna morph. We're gonna morph, then we're gonna play. Look at that discount. I could pay 9 mana instead of 10. Wow, it's not even that big. It's not even that big of a difference. Very far from it. Okay, the big squig. Rogue Elephant. What's this all about? Green 3/3. When it comes into play, sacrifice a forest or bury Rogue Elephant. You know what? To your credit, this is like Wild Nacatl way before Wild Nacatl existed. And if you're playing with mana dorks, I bet you could have at least tricked yourself into thinking that you could live without the forest. When of course, every mana counts. We don't want to be self-strip mining ourselves here. The Rogue Elephant. Well, I mean, it's not bad, but actually stone raining yourself is still pretty bad even back then. It's not good either. I mean, it's probably a decent like turn 3 play on mana, I suppose. Maybe. That's what the YouTube algorithm is all about. Oh yeah, a stream about a game I know nothing about and will never play. Welcome, Violent Beetle. Well, why don't you just Google it? Google it up to find out, and then participate. Charging Badger. I thought Dark Tutelage was good. Makes me wonder how the hell people find my stream. Maybe YouTube is just advertising it to the wrong people. Charging Badger says, I thought Dark Tutelage was good because I didn't understand mana economy very well. I don't know what you mean by mana economy. 3 mana enchantment at the beginning of your upkeep. Reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. You lose life equal to its converted mana cost. I mean, turn 3, this is not bad. Like, this is what, Phyrexian Arena? This is basically, it's Phyrexian Arena and Dark Confidant mixed in one. Phyrexian Arena is not that bad. It's not that great either, but it's not that bad. I would never play this card though. I mean, it's a more it's like a clunkier version of Dark Confidant, harder to destroy when your life is low. Could be problems. At least we know new people are coming in. Yeah, but they're the wrong people. Trent Sims. The Thorn Elemental. Why? Because it was on the package. I learned to play with 7th edition. We need that 7th edition. Where is it? They had a very specific 7th edition. There we go. I think it was on the booster box. 7 mana, 7/7. You can have Thorn Elemental deal its combat damage to defending player as though it weren't blocked. That must have seemed insane at the time. They teach you how to block, and then you find out, wow, if they block my Thorn Elemental, they still take the damage. Now we look at this card as it's a 7 mana 7/7. That's sort of unblockable, but like dies to Doomblade. I mean, it dies to a lot more than Doomblade. We could have a really long list of cards that this thing dies to and is completely useless to. DLA, Thunderous Wrath. I still use 1 or 2 in your burn deck. Oh yeah, just for memory's sake, huh? We have a 6 mana instant, deals 5 damage to target creature or player, and it's got a miracle. It's a miracle. It's on top of my deck. 1 mana, deal 5 damage. It's pretty good for a lightning bolt, frankly. You could put it. It's probably fine in a blue-red deck where you play with Brainstorm and Ponder, and then you can just manipulate to the top of your deck, and bam, 5 damage. Bam! Were there 5 damage in Avacyn's Resort? Yeah, you could probably there was Brainstorm back then. Not in that format, but in other formats. Sunshine, Trample, but for real. Is that Trample a real card? I thought that effect was nuts when I was new. Oh, you're talking about just the mechanic. Trample the mechanic. Trample, yeah. It's still good. It's still good. Every so often I'll block a creature with Trample thinking I've actually blocked it. Question I want to know, what is Mrs. Nikachu's first name? It's going to be hidden in mystery. A blackbird. Dread Horde Invasion. 2 mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and amass zombies 1. Whenever a... it's Bitter Blossom, but for armies. Whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks, it gains lifelink until end of turn. So if it gets big enough... Oh, Thorn Elemental. Oh, Thorn Elemental wasn't technically Trample. It was better than Trample. Way better than Trample. This guy... You know what? There's so many people that fall in love with Bitter Blossom. I would not blame you for thinking that this card was good. It's like, wow, this is just sort of... It's like a different... It's better than Bitter Blossom. I mean, if the zombie gets big enough, it's got lifelink. And you, like, basically recoup all the life that you lost on this damn thing. So very easy to be tricked into this card. Stranger Candy with Visara the Dreadful. This is a 6 mana 5/5 Gorgon flying. Destroy target creature, can't be regenerated. That seems pretty sick. Yeah, 6 mana. You got your 6 mana 5/5 flyer. And also it can snipe off creatures like a Royal Assassin. It's got to be a limited bomb. Where does this come from? It came from Onslaught? Oh, it's an old card. Super old. Way back in the day. Yeah, it's actually decent for a bad card. I mean, we would never play it because of the casting cost. The casting cost is just... But you know what? If it was 1 mana less, I bet it could see some play. I bet it could see some serious, like, standard play. But it looks way better than you would think for a bad card show. Meteor, Hypnotic Spectre. What era of Magic the Gathering? This card was really good for a very, very long time. Where's the original printing? Oh, there is this spooky guy. I mean, this is a tier 1 card, like, but we have to go way back in the day. And maybe it, like, didn't age well from there. Still sees play in pre-modern. But, looks like a Diablo 4 boss. Oh, wait, the Hypnotic Spectre or the, what's it called? The Visara the Dreadful. So anyway, like, this card's iconic. But I don't know at what point it became worthless. Maybe around 2000, maybe around the 2000s. But the Hypnotic Spectre used to be one of the best creatures up there with Sarah Angel. Yeah, but depending when you get into the game, I mean, this card was worthless. It's only good in its era, and like this, would you, if you had access to, it's modern legal, all right? This thing's modern legal. It's modern legal. It's legacy legal. It doesn't see any play. If you put it in Pioneer, it wouldn't see play. A 3-mana 2/2 is absolute trash. So I mean, like, if you got into the game, say in 2010, and everyone talked about the Hypnotic Spectre, how good it was, and you look at the price, you look at the price of it, and it's like $200 in beta. You might think, oh my god, this card is good. Why else is it so expensive? Why are so many people talking about it so favorably? And then like I mean, like, there's so many problems with it now. You help your opponent put cards in the graveyard. It's slow. It doesn't even attack for a lot. The card is random. It's probably not even relevant at that point. I mean, so there's a lot of decks that use the graveyard, so I can see a lot of ways of this card backfiring today. Okay, Dinglebag, Megrim. 3-mana enchantment. Whenever an opponent discards a card, Megrim deals 2 damage to that player. That is super niche. If you have that, was that in your sideboard? Or was that in the main deck? I could totally see this being put in someone's main deck, and then they face opponents that just never discard cards. just never happened. Turns out that doesn't happen so often. Steve Cooper, Battle Fly Swarm. I have a soft spot for this draft chaff in my first deck. I built myself. We all very much take pride in the decks that we build ourselves. Battlefly Swarm is a black 1/1 Phyrexian insect, flying. For a black, Battlefly Swarm gains Death Touch until end of turn. Oh, so it's like basically a 1-mana 1/1 Death Toucher with extra steps. Because you have to pay another black in order to give it the Death Touch in the first place. Pabno with the super chat. Clockwork Vorak. It gets bigger and bigger. But can it tell time? It's a 5-mana Trampling Beast. It's an artifact creature. Comes into play with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever a Clockwork Vorak attacks or blocks, remove a +1/+1 counter from it at end of combat. Tap, put a +1/+1 counter on Clockwork Vorak. This card is awful. This card it shrinks. It just shrinks itself. In order to buff itself back up, you have to tap it again. I'd love to know in more detail what was the... I mean, it does have trample. Okay, it does have trample. And you can put this in any deck. Maybe even in your blue deck, your blue control deck. Use this as a finisher. We got Jutastre says, I think I own this too. Way back in the day. This Big Squig says, Scab Ruinator. It's pre-sold for $50. Oh man, this card, I know quite a bit of the history of this card. 3 mana for a 5/6 zombie horde, and is an additional cost to cast the spell. You have to exile 3 cards from your graveyard, alright? It's got flying, and you may cast Scab Ruinator from your graveyard. So it's pretty impressive. Like, it's a pretty chunky creature. Don't get me wrong. If you need to outclass other creatures on the battlefield, I mean, this is going to get it done. But casting it is awful, because early in the game, you have nothing that's dead. There were a lot of people in the Merfolk community wanted to play this card because you could in theory cheat it and play with Ether Vial. So I mean, if you don't have the creatures in the graveyard, just vial it in with Ether Vial. But I didn't think the juice was worth the squeeze with this card. I just think it's super clunky, and when you run out of cards in your graveyard, I mean, it's just never coming back. Period. Christopher B wants to get on this show with a Gale Power Mage. Gale Powder. Okay, 4 mana, 3/3 flyer. It's a Kithkin. Whenever a Gale Powder Mage attacks, exile another target creature. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. What's wrong with this card? It actually looks pretty decent. I mean, you know, and all things considered for Commander and the synergy that you have with blinking cards, this sort of seems up there. I mean, maybe it's a bit expensive and situational because you do have to attack with it, and sometimes you're going to attack to its death. You know, the attack triggers sometimes are good. Sometimes it's bad. I mean, the good news with the attack triggers, they're repeatable. The bad news is you have to go in for the attack, and if there's a blocker, you're going to die. Judah Stray says, I wonder what happened to my old cards. Still hoping they will turn up someday. That's sad. Maybe they're in the garage. Maybe they're deep in that storage locker that you completely forgot about. Next up, just a random mage. The Phyrexian Negator. I was really paranoid about this card. So, like, a lot of people were playing it back then. 3 mana for a 5/5 trample. Whenever Phyrexian Negator is dealt damage, sacrifice a permanent for each 1 damage dealt to it. But, like, yeah, like, if it's burned, if it's blocked, you're screwed. You get completely screwed. So, I think they were in main decks way back then, but maybe because there's like enough combo decks to not make it matter. Like, this card is good versus combo decks versus control decks where they can't deal damage. But outside of that, I mean, it's huge. It's an absolute huge problem. This card was busted in decks with Yawgmoths and Dark Ritual. Well, I mean, not really. I mean, even back then in Urza Saga, there was like a lot of red slide decks. So, I mean, you could go Swamp, Dark Ritual, Phyrexian Negator. They shock the Phyrexian Negator, and then you lose all your permanents. But, like, also, that was an era where there was a lot of combo decks. So, I mean, there's, you know, I mean, I guess it's just a bad matchup. If you see a mountain across from you, just don't put this thing on the battlefield. And then outside of that era, I mean, the card's crap, isn't it? I think it's only good because it's iconic for the most part. These days, Fling not good enough. It only does one thing. Oh, that's interesting. So this is still a popular card. There's a lot of people who still believe in this card. As an additional cost to cast the spell, you got to sack a creature, and it'll deal damage equal to the power of the creature. What about Goblin Grade? Is that still good? Well, no. So on the topic of Fling, like, it's jank good. Let's just put it that way. Like, I think it only sees play, obviously, in Goblin decks. And the best Goblin decks don't play this card. In my opinion. They're, like, combo-ish Goblin decks. But, like, but those decks still exist, and, like, they're playable. They just may not be the best version of Goblins. Where you have to sack a Goblin, deal 5 damage. Fling is great. It kills a player. Such a Goblin card. Absolutely. Ridley, Uncle Istvan. Uncle Istvan is a 4-mana 1/3 prevent all damage that would be dealt to Uncle Istvan by creatures. This looks awful. So what is it? Just the ultimate blocker? Prevent all damage that would be dealt to Uncle Istvan by creatures. It's 4 mana. 4 mana for 1/3. We get like absolutely nothing. We get absolutely nothing out of this thing, except, you know, more or less an indestructible creature. I mean, I guess against the right player, this card will feel invincible, like especially if they don't have any removal. Dangerous One with the Avatar of Woe. Those avatars were very popular back then. 8 mana for a 6/5, but guess what? If there are 10 or more creature cards in total in all graveyards, this spell costs 6 less to cast. It's got fear. It's gonna put the fear in you. Tap, destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. Yeah, this is like a more expensive version, almost. It's the more expensive version of that other big clunky card, where tap, destroy target creature. You know, I mean, I think a lot of people love this card. Avatar of Woe is actually pretty decent. You said that about the last card, Benjamin Berkey. So you just like any card where you tap and destroy creatures, any sort of Royal Assassin like tech. Okay, next up. Let's take... There's a vote for Toilet Duck, but I don't see where Toilet Duck is right now. Where are you, Toilet Duck? I guess I'll catch you later. Accumulated knowledge at what point? This card was very good back in the day. It's still good in pre-modern. It's very bad today. I mean, there is if you take it out of the context of if you I don't know why you'd be playing this as a Commander player, but if you play it in Commander, yeah, it's crap. It's absolute crap. but it was not like that bad a super long time ago. Ant, Sign of Darkness. Darkness. 8 mana for a 6/6 trampler. Ah, yes, the big chunky trampling avatar creature. And it's got cycling for 3 mana, which is terrible. When it deals combat damage to a player, may put target creature card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. That's pretty sweet, though. I mean, the stats are all good. This is just the casting cost is unbearable. John with the super chat. Mana Flare. Oftentimes, game would end before I untap. That's unfortunate. But isn't this card still fine? 3 mana enchantment. Whenever a player taps a land for mana, that player adds 1 mana of that type to their mana pool. Oh, this card. Oh, yeah, you're helping everybody else out. So basically, you're like, you're going to play this. I'm going to have such an amazing turn. But unfortunately, your opponents have amazing turns before they get back. It gets back to your turn. Oh, boy. I used to think Opt was good, but there are just so many better options now. It's still good. I mean, maybe it very recently got power crept out, but you know what, old boy? At any time that you played Opt, it probably was good. It probably was good. It's just like very recent. I mean, it's still good in Pioneer, actually. I think it's still good in Pioneer. I guess the old boy standards are just super high. It's like Brainstorm. This is strictly worse than Brainstorm or Ancestral Recall and all those other cards. Strictly worse. Doctarian says, I used to use Mana Flare mostly because I couldn't make decks and it helped me cast my stupid things. It also helps other people cast their stupid things. Circle of Protection blank cards. You mean the ones that are not red? Cards that weren't good, but I used to have fun trolling opponents with them so long ago. Well, okay, now, to be fair, the red one was real. Because that was just like a hard counter to a lot of red decks. But if you used other ones like green, it was awful. Like green has enchantment destruction. Green can like put multiple creatures on the battlefield and you have to prevent the damage to each and every single one of them. And it's like super mana intensive. And they could have more creatures than you have mana to cast for this thing. So, it's a problem. It's a bit of a problem. Okay, next up, we've got... What else do we have here? We got Eric with Evan Carr. Ascendant. This is... Ascendant Evan Carr. 6 mana, 3/3 vampire. Flying. Other black creatures get +1/+1, but the non-black creatures get -1/-1. This is almost... It's got... Elish Norn vibes to this, where hey, my creatures get bigger, your creatures get smaller. Although this can buff up your opponent's creatures, so I mean, in the mirror match, this probably sucks a little bit. Bryce with Evra. Evra Halcyon Witness was really good. Was really good. It's a what? It's either good or it's bad. Okay, it's a 6 mana 4/4 lifelinker. Pay for exchange your life total with Evra. Oh man, with Evra's power? I don't want to do that. Since when is that going to be good? So the idea is switch your life total with Evra's power. Oh, I think the idea is to have a really big life total. Do the switcheroo. You go to 4 life, but then you attack for a win or something. Evra's good. 1 hit. We have a what if you die in response, Buzz? What if you die in response? What if someone has like I don't know, 2 lightning bolts or something like that? Yeah, Indiana Jones says the Circle of Protections were actually in a lot of people's sideboards for tournaments. For versus red and black, yes. Green, blue, and white. I don't know if I mean, people might have played them, but they were definitely not that great. Okay, we're gonna look at more terrible Magic the Gathering cards. We used to think we were good, but we gotta thank our sponsor today, starting with FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to buy my Magic the Gathering cards and sealed product. You can get your Edge of Eternities, Final Fantasy, and also Avatar: The Last Airbender singles, and not to mention all these old cards that we're reviewing today in Magic the Gathering history. But I'll tell you what you really want to do when you're shopping at FusionGamingOnline.com. You want to use coupon code Nikachu to get 5% off all your purchases, and it supports the channel. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. For Magic Online, it lets you play every single format that you can in paper. Commander, one-on-one Commander, Highlander, CEDH. You can play Standard, Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, fan-made formats, and many more. And you have access to the entire card pool when you rent with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription using coupon code Nikachu_EFC. Let's get back to them old cards. They be old. Actually, they're not everything needs to be old, but they need to be bad. They need to be bad to be good. Next up, we have a super chat actually. Pabno, thank you very much for your super chat. Prodigal Sorcerer. I will admit I never thought this card was good. But maybe I didn't know better. 3 mana for a 1/1. I think it was good in its era. There's a lot of 1 toughness creatures back then. Tap, Prodigal Sorcerer deals 1 damage to target creature or player. I mean, today this is just crap. Above and beyond super crap. Oh, it's also permanent, not until end of turn. When reference, oh, this thing, oh, the Evra, it is permanent. Yeah, so your life total ain't going back. It's gonna stay at 4. You gotta keep working. Gotta keep working. We got Maverick. Oh, Maverick with Jackal Pup. When did you start playing with this card? Did you like pick up one of those champion decks and then played it in, like, you know, the newer era, and then found out this card really sucked? A red 2/1 when it's dealt 1 damage. When for each 1 damage dealt to Jackal Pup, it deals 1 damage to you. But back then, those 1 mana 2/1s, this was like a strictly worse Savannah Alliance. It still saw play back then. Yeah, Evra has lifelink. If it connects. But if it connects, you might just win on the spot there. William! Is this too early? Frenzied Baloth? Frenzied Baloth. This is all very personal to everybody, you know? People went crazy for it. So 2 mana, 3/2, can't be countered, trample, haste. Creature spells you control can't be countered, and combat damage can't be prevented. Oh, you mean, oh, too recent, you mean. Bad MTG cards we used to think were good. Yeah, okay, it still counts. I mean, anyone could look at this card and say, yeah, this card's insane. Does it actually see play? It might end up seeing play in Standard if they ban enough stuff. Maybe this could end up becoming something. Yeah, I do remember the hype around this card, and nothing came about it. Still nothing. We have Crocor Games, Jared. Carthillion. When I started in Commander, it was my first. Jared, is it Carthier? We're gonna get there. When I started in Commander, it was my first 5-color Commander, and I had no understanding of mana bases, except to say the deck I made was garbage, and by today's standards, meh. And this card can be your Commander. I'm assuming this is it. You have so. Wow, like, how can you go wrong? It's a 5-color Planeswalker Commander. +1, you get a 3/3. You get a Kavu. -3. Choose 2 target creatures. For each of them, they get +1/+1 counters. Equal the number of colors they are. -6, return target a multicolored card from your graveyard to your hand. And if that card was all colors, draw a card and create 2 treasure tokens. This card actually looks like it has potential. But you got to build around it properly. Well, I'll tell you what, Crocor Games. What if you could talk to your former self? With all the knowledge that you have today, maybe you could make that Jared Carthillion deck work again. Maybe it can work now. Aggro Creepers, a card I used to think was good, was Savage Knuckleblade. Well, they hyped it up so much in, not just Standard, sorry, in Draft? I think maybe it saw some play in Standard. 3 mana for a 4/4, and for 3 mana, it gets +2/+2. For 3 mana, return it back to your hand, and for 1 red, it gets haste. So at 4 mana, you can swing in for 4 damage. Looks pretty good on the surface. It will just age like milk outside of Standard, that's all. And outside of Draft. Indiana Jones with Nicol Bolas. The OG. We used to think all the Elder Dragons from Legends were awesome, but I hardly remember anyone ever casting one. I think we just like the artwork. I think, oh, the super OG. Look at all these books. This learning. Flying. An opponent damaged by Nicol Bolas must discard entire hand. I always thought that effect was like borderline worthless. I mean, not completely worthless, but the thing is, at this point of the game, I mean, unless you get this thing out super fast with sneak attack or something, no one has much of a hand later on in the game. I'll admit, though, whatever's in their hand must be very good. What else do we have here? Toads with Chromium. Sounds like a Google Chrome clone. This is 8 mana, 7/7 Elder Dragon. Flying and Rampage of 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice unless you pay 3 mana. Yeah, not getting a whole lot out of the 7/7 for the most part. All that mana for borderline a sort of evasive junky creature. Very clunky. Pabno, thank you very much for your super chat. Mind Sludge. Not to be mistaken with Mind Fudge. All their cards, all one card of their cards. 5 mana sorcery. Target player discards a card for each swamp you control. Oh, it's because you don't play that many swamps or something? Well, you gotta go all in on the swamps. That's the whole thing. Or are you talking about, like, at the time that you cast it, they don't have many cards left in their hand? Which both can be true. I bet today it's a little bit better because of Urborg. So you have access to Urborg. I don't know exactly which when that thing came out. Maybe Urborg always was around. It costs too much mana, huh? Yeah, 5 mana. Target player discards a card for each swamp you control. I mean, they'll discard their hand. It's got the same It's got the Nicol Bolas problem. Okay, who has no 2 cards yet? Arethusa. Technically not a bad card, but I remember crafting Pelt Collector on MTG Arena. Only realized that the card would rotate next week. Oh no! Well, rip for you, Arethusa. Yeah, it was a green 1/1. It was okay back then. Yeah, it was okay. Maybe a little too good for the show. Alex Bruce. My friend group used to be terrified of the dirt cowl worm. Oh, that sounds like a good show. Crappy cards my friends were very scared of, or thought were broken, or you thought were broken. Okay, 5 mana, 3/4. Whenever an opponent plays a land, put a +1/+1 counter on Dirt Cowl Worm. It's like, oh, you're punishing me for making my land drops. And for ramping out. And so on. Oh, that's one a lot of people can resonate with. Elvish Piper from Dinglebag. Totally. 4 mana, 1/1, pay a green tap. Put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. You don't get it immediately. You gotta wait a whole turn for it, though. Card dies to Doomblade. Magnum Opus. Goblin Guide? When was it bad? When did you try to play this card and you thought it was bad? Like, recently, I mean, it's not so hot today, but a red hasting 2/2, and when it attacks, a defending player reveals the top card of their library. If it's a land card, that player puts in their hand. This card has traditionally been very good for a very, very, very long time. I mean, outside of burn, it's bad. So if you put in a goblin deck... So it's bad for a goblin, but as a burn card, it's pretty good. Arthusa, that's how I learned rotation the hard way. Everyone learns rotation the hard way. By losing all their money. That's how it works. The Mad Gamer. Oh, the Royal Scions. You know, to your credit, the Mad Gamer, we all thought this was good. I don't know why it doesn't work. It's a 3 mana 5 loyalty creature, and it goes straight to 6. That's the same as, like, Oko, Thief of Crowns. You can draw a card, then discard a card, so you can loot some bad cards away. +1, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains first strike. And trample until end of turn. So it, like, buffs up creatures. And I guess that's the problem. Is like, you need to have, like, a deck with enough creatures in it to make this card worthwhile. And then -8, draw 4 cards, and then when you do, Royal Silence deals damage to any target equal to the number of cards in your hand. But it aged super badly. I think a lot of us thought it was good. I played with this card a little bit too. Didn't work though. Joe, with Blanket of Nights. I didn't know the knight needed a blanket. Can the knight wet the blanket? It's a 3-mana enchantment. Each mana-producing land is a swamp in addition to its normal land type. Each mana-producing land. So wait, like you needed this for Swamp Walk or something? Or did you think it was turning people's lands into swamps? I don't really know the rationale of playing it in the first place. So it has to be something like, you thought it was going to do it, but it doesn't do the thing that you wanted it to do. And it says, sorry to be off topic, but I noticed you have an AI stream in the custom cards. Oh, thanks for letting me know, Anna. I'll take a look at it after the show. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Urborg, yeah, it's basically Urborg is an enchantment, which is not, I mean, I don't know if that's worth it. Each mana-producing land. I mean, I guess that's the idea. Yeah, you can turn your colorless lands into swamps, but it's going to cost you a whole turn. And on turn 3, it's a bit awkward. David with Glenalendra Archmage. This card is insane. It's 4 mana 2/2 flyer. Pay a blue, sack it, counter target non-creature spell, and has persist. I mean it. So this card doesn't see a whole lot of competitive play anymore. Like we're talking Modern, Legacy. Although it did see play in Modern, but just not for a very, very long time. But I mean, it's still very good in Cube. It's still a very good Commander card. I would say it's a little too good for this show. I think, like, I don't know, like even by, I mean, if you recently played this in a 60 card format, sure, it's not good, but it's still very good in Commander, which is very, very necessary. Bryce wants, give me Vexing Devil. All right, we're going to give you Vexing Devil. How many can resonate with this? How many still believe this card is good? It's a red 4/3 Devil, and when it enters the battlefield, any opponent may have it deal 4 damage to them. And if the player does, sack this creature. The problem is you give your opponent the choice. If they can't deal with it, all right, they'll take the 4 damage. So they don't have to take like 12 or more damage from this stupid creature in the future. And then if it's not a problem, they'll let it resolve and they'll just kill it with anything. You know what I mean? Everyone knows what I mean because everyone suffered that exact same fate from this card. That's why this card still is bad. This card still has its defenders for some reason. They haven't lost enough with this card. I mean, I guess one big problem is, let's say the player takes 4 damage. From the Vexing Devil's perspective, the player's perspective, they're like, excellent. Everything going according to plan. But that's also going according to their plan. You know, deceptively, all these cards, almost every single Magic card where you give your opponent a choice, it's usually pretty bad. For very few exceptions, like maybe, I don't know, Fact or Fiction, Gifts Ungiven. But outside of that, if you give your opponent a choice, they'll always make the choice that's best for them. Okay, next up, we got a super chat from Jess. I thought Sliver Hivelord was a good commander. You don't think so? I mean, you know what? I mean, this has Commander written all over it. It's like just a generically big creature. 5 mana for a 5/5. Sliver creatures you control have indestructible. For anyone that wants that indestructibility. I guess if you're playing Rakdos Aristocrats to lose, Rakdos Aristocrats to lose what for the Vexing Devil? Vexing Devil puts your opponent between a rock and a soft place. Oh, that's a good way of putting it. I never heard of that expression before. Trem says Sliver Hivelord is like second best commander for slivers after the first sliver. Yeah, but Jess might still be making the point that this card still isn't good. Like even if you make a sliver deck, like is it CEDH TEDH playable? Maybe not. Maybe Jess had higher expectations for this card, thinking, oh, I'm going to beat people up. Oh, wait a minute. I'm losing all these combo decks. Oh, crap. Oh, no. Nothing's going according to plan. Christopher B. with Dross Harvester. Where you harvest the Drossers? I was new when it was. I thought protection worked against Wrath of God. Oh! Yeah, I think a lot of people make that mistake when they don't know the rules very well. So this is a 3 mana 4/4, but protection from white. So a lot of people, especially when you're new, this game has so many stupid rules, and the nuances are very hard to understand or learn. I mean, unless you're like, I guess unless you play enough on Arena and you just learn through trial and error what works and what doesn't. But protection from white just means you can't target it from white spells. Or sorry, and also damage from white sources won't deal damage. And you can't block. And there's some other stuff. Anyway, you can still get destroyed by a white source, like a Wrath of God or a Supreme Verdict. And it will still blow up. At the beginning of your end step, which you lose 4 life, and whenever a creature dies, you gain 2 life. Yeah, all those. Imagine going to a tournament with a bunch of protection from white creatures, and then the control player blows you up anyway. What was this? Arethusa says, speaking of which, what non-creature you play in Sliver EDH deck? I don't know. Benjamin Berkey. I used to think Eater of Days was broken. Really? Why is this thing $1? This thing's genius. When it comes into play, when Eater of Days comes into play, you skip your next 2 turns. But like that's such a small cost for a 9/8 creature. Very small cost, very small price to pay. Christopher B was duped for $10 for what? What, the Dross Harvester? Because otherwise I don't know what card you're talking about. Anyone's talking about slivers. Slivers equals maths. Yes. If you're not good with math, then don't be playing the slivers. Maverick. Tamio. No! Inquisitive Student. Is that the 1 mana one? Oh, come on. This card's good in every format. This was never not good in any format that it's played. Is it banned anywhere? Not yet. Maybe not. Maybe it won't get banned. Fan Factor Network, Wormcoil Engine. This card's still okay. 6 mana, 6/6, lifelink and death touch. When it dies, you get a 3/3 death toucher and a 3/3 lifelinker. Might be a little clunky for today's standards. Oh, murder! This is like when you're playing with a small card pool before you find out, oh my god, there's billions of better destroy creature cards. Yeah, 3 mana, instant, destroy target creature. Wow, that's crazy. I can kill any creature with this. Maybe some people think it's better than Doomblade. Doomblade can't kill the black creatures. Or is it artifacts too? No, it's just the black creatures. Or is it? Destroy target non-black creature. Next up. Oh, Maverick was like, just my bad. I like the card. Next up. Okay, Arthusa, for my your actual card. We don't do that around here, Arethusa. Hagra Constrictor. Tries to combo by mutating with Cavern Whisper to give it base stats. This is a 3 mana 0/0, enters with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has menace. Try blocking me now. Try blocking me now. This is a great one. Aurelius Fury. This is also a pretty hyped card when it first got revealed. 2 mana and X instant deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and/or players. Tap each creature dealt damage this way. Players dealt damage this way can't cast non-creature spells this turn. And was just worthless. I was there when this thing came out. I mean, it was just it's like, look at this amazing card. Saw no play, nothing. Dead on arrival. Elixir, no card yet. I remember seeing Reinforced Ronin everywhere a few years back. The red 2/2 haste. At the beginning of your end step, return reinforced Roan to its owner's hand. Why would anyone play this? I mean, maybe it's one of the better, or maybe it's just like a thing of playables. They just need that many playables for their red deck. But you can channel it to draw a card. That's some good news. Christopher B is still stunned that this card did nothing. It is still doing nothing even to this day. Ended up not finding a home anywhere. Poor Aurelius Fury. William with Draco. I remember seeing Draco from the Vault version and thinking he was the coolest card ever. From the Vault, Draco. Look at that evil card. 6 mana, 9/9. But it costs 2 less for each basic land type among lands you control. And then if you did the math, you would realize, oh, that's 6 mana. What a discount. Flying. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you got a second unless you pay 10. But it's reduced by 2 for each basic land type among lands you control. Not only is this like basically worthless if you can get it out for 6 mana, but I mean, if anyone messes with your lands, you're screwed up. Blood Moon, Magus of the Moon, Wasteland, Dust Bowl. I mean, you're completely screwed. You better have all 5 land types. Or Draco or Graveyard is going to be Draco's type. Next, let's take a look at who doesn't have 2 cards yet. A lot of people sneaking in a lot of cards today. Magnum Opus Gold, Browbeat. Used to play it in my Legacy Burn deck decades ago. That's a long time ago. But it is an old card. Look at that. It's a card from Judgment. 3 mana sorcery. Unless a player has Browbeat, deal 5 damage to them. Target player draws 3 cards. You know, it's funny. They brought this back into Standard, and it was quite good. I was put to a decision where I felt like neither option benefited me. So, like, they play Browbeat, and I'm like, okay, if they draw 3 cards, it's going to be a lot of burn. But if I take the 5 damage, well, that's 5 damage. So it obviously it does not really age well, but in a very specific Standard environment, it was pretty good. Pedgeman with Bloodbraid Elf used to be thought of as OP. The card has definitely fallen from grace. Does not see nearly as much play as it used to. It should probably, you know, the thing with Bloodbraid Elf, it probably needs a home. Like it's a good card, but has no home at the moment. 4 mana for a 3/2 haste and Cascader. Where is your home, Bloodbraid Elf? You've strayed way too far away from home. Platinum Angel. I think everyone can relate to this. 7 mana, 4/4. You can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game. Ah, how can I lose? This is impossible. I have an indestructible fortress. Indestructible. And impenetrable. No one can beat this card. Oh, wait, it does. It dies to Doomblade? And everything becomes incredibly clear. Next up. Green tea. Oh, sorry, it's not green. Green tree. Aladdin's ring. Get me the lamp. Aladdin's ring, an 8 mana artifact. Pay 8, tap. Aladdin's ring deals 4 damage to our creature player. My god, you must be ancient to play this card. This is a good question for the historians. Was this card ever good? Like, was it even remotely playable? Or was this garbage the entire time that they just kept printing and printing and printing and printing? Just like feed the noobs these ideas. Hey, look how much damage you can do with this card if the game lasts long enough. Why was his hand so enormous? Or why did the person shrink so much? Perspective, people. It's all a matter of perspective. Christopher B, actually, our historian, says, nope, it was never good. It was bad back then. I played the mid-90s. I only got in super late 90s, early 2000s. That was my life. Necropotence is not bad. It's banned in formats, for crying out loud. Ooh, the Lord of Extinction. From the Mad Gamer. 5 mana for a star, and this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in all graveyards. Number of cards. It's like a Tarmogoyf, but it's 5 mana, unfortunately. That's why Tarmogoyf's Tarmogoyf, because it's 2 mana, not 5. Did we do Jace the Mind Sculptor? Well, like when Jace the Mind Sculptor. Like at what time? Whoops, not this one. This one. So I mean, this card was super dangerous for the longest time. It was a super powerful card in Legacy and Modern. Those were the days. When Jace the Mind Sculptor is good, that's a good format. I'm surprised it's still like $20. Like it's sort of hanging on to some sort of price. It should be borderline worthless. Like it's like a cool card to use and whatever, but I mean it's not really playable in any competitive format. Not these days anyhow. Anyway, yeah, it's so if you played it within I'd say since 2018, it's awful. Commander still loves Jace. That's good. Good for you, Jace. You have a new home now. You're retired. You're retired from competitive Magic. You can play with all the filthy casuals. There we go. The filthy casuals. The Goth King. No one even plays Tarmogoyf anymore. It's not even the best Goyf. Are you referencing the black Goyf? Was it the death? There's that Death Touch Lifelink Goyf I think you're talking about. Servant of the Lord. I used to think Ring of Thune. Okay, Ring of Thune was awesome. Well, it's an equipment for 2 mana. Equipped creature has vigilance. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a +1/+1 counter on equipped creature if it's white. This is awful. Where do you put this in? I mean, I guess you could play it in your white weenie deck or something. I don't have to tap my creatures anymore. And it gets bigger every turn. How's my opponent going to deal with this? We have Juzam Dejin from the Ghost of Thomas Jenkins. It was good in 1994. So, like, what? Was there a point where you kept playing it beyond 1994 and it just got weaker and weaker over time? Leon. Okay, Leon and Fan Factor wants Vengevine. That's an interesting suggestion. Vengevine isn't really necessarily bad. It has no home. And we could say that sort of because in Vintage, it still sees play. I think. In the Dredge decks. I think. I could be wrong. When do you cast a spell? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm dead wrong. No, I gotta check this out. I gotta do a Vintage check. Vintage. Where's Dredge is still one of the best decks. Is Vengevine in here? Hollow one. No, there's no Vengevine. Okay, I'm totally wrong. Backspace on that. All right, you're garbage now, Vengevine. You used to be good, and now I mean now you have a lot to prove. That's for sure. Jess says Arcane Denial. I think this card sucks. And for some reason, they love it in Commander. It's such a popular card in Commander. I'm just not going to dispute it. 2 mana instant, counter target spell, and its controller may draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. And then you get to draw a card. So it's like, it's almost like a 2 mana cryptic command. With downside, of course. Will Anderson, when Huntmaster of the Fells came out, I thought it would be the dominant creature for a decade or more. Yeah, how long did it dominate? For like 2 years or something, and then it just went to the bin. 4 mana for a 2/2. Enters when it enters or transforms, Huntmaster of the Fells. Sorry, when this creature enters. Okay, whatever. When it enters the battlefield or transforms, you get a 2/2 wolf and you gain 2 life. And if no spells were cast, you get this stupid guy. That's a 4/4. And when it transforms, it deals 2 damage to target opponent or planeswalker and 2 damage to up to 1 target creature that player controls. And if people play 2 spells, then the other side is flipped. And now it sees no play. It's gone. Completely gone. Necro Impotence. Poor Impotence. Mad Gamer, huge fan of Arcane Denial. Arcane Denial is okay in Nekusar. It's like suggested in a lot of blue decks in Commander. Well, maybe until Birthing Pod got banned. What, like Birthing Pod got banned and Huntmaster somehow got weak? They didn't play that card in Pod. Do we have any good cards to finish the show with? Green tea. The Abyssal Persecutor. So that's 4 mana, 6/6 flying, trampling demon. You can't win the game, and your opponents can't lose the game. And I guess the idea is, you know what, we're going to put our opponents to 0 life, and then I'm going to kill my Abyssal Persecutor. But turns out someone could just kill the Abyssal Persecutor before they even lose any life. All right, that's it for today's show. I just want to remind everyone that on the 5th of November, I'm going away for a vacation for 2 weeks. I won't be back until the 21st of November. So you got to live without the live show for like 2 weeks. Please hang in there. Please hang in there, YouTube algorithm. I'll be back. I swear I'll be back. As usual, we do these shows 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Also, thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or use Super Chat to be part of the show, or even Super Chat so other people are part of the show. And of course, thank you so much, my coffee crew, for being here today. People like The Goth King, Magnum Opus Gold, David Sampson, Pabno, Steve Cooper, Old Boy Dinglebag, Toad's Servant, The Mad Gamer, Indiana Jones, David Sampson, Green Tree, Christopher B. Remember the 5th of November. That is correct. The Big Squig, Benjamin Berkey, Jess, Pabno. Wait, there might be some random stream. I might stream something randomly during that vacation, but no promises. I'll have my laptop on me. And Jess and Pabno and many more. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep bringing those coffees, and we're going to keep bringing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.